Crossing a threshold feels powerful, clear, certain, sometimes even really exciting. You make a decision, you choose the direction, and you step through. And then something unexpected happens. Things feel, well, different. Not fully settled, maybe not fully clear, and maybe not as stable as you would like. Most people think the portal was the hard part. Mystical work teaches something different. Crossing the threshold is only the beginning. What comes after determines everything. In today's mystical minds, we're exploring what happens after you move through a portal, how identity shifts, how energy stabilizes, and how to integrate change so that it actually holds. Because transformation doesn't happen in the moment you cross, it happens in what you do next. Hey, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to Mystical Minds Podcast. I'm your host, Allie Thies. I'm the creator of Out of Body Ecstasy, and with over 40 years of experience as a psychic, energy worker, and a soul connection specialist, over the years, I've written 8 books, with book number 9, The Constant Cravings of Soulful Connections, Satisfy the Unshakable Power of Soulmates and Twin Flames, is going to be released next month in May. I can't wait. I've been walking the mystical path since childhood, and now I help others reconnect with their true selves through intuitive readings, soul work, and the safe, secret space of the Mystical Minds community. This podcast is your invitation to explore the magical, metaphysical, and the wildly mysterious side of life. From energy healing to spirit guides, soulmates to sacred rituals, nothing is off limits here. So grab your tea, light a candle, and let's dive into this mystery together. Yes, the book is coming out next month. Ooh, what a birthday present for me and a happy Mother's Day gift, all rolled into one. My birthday is this Saturday, and then of course Mother's Day is the following weekend. So yeah, pretty pumped up here. The publisher said it'll be around Mother's Day when it's released. I will have a solid date later on this week, so I'll make sure I tell you next week when I do Mystical Minds. But yeah, really looking forward to it. And I am finishing up on some soulmate subliminals as well. These go with the telepathic and astral and dream subliminals that I've already done that are up on outofbodyecstasy.com. I'll try to get these soul connection ones up as soon as possible, although it probably won't be until this weekend or maybe next to let you know. Okay, and if you're asking what is a subliminal, well, I'll tell you. It's rewiring your brain and your energy, your vibration, to attract or shift the way you want to. Subliminals do not have you do something you do not already want to do. So if you don't want to get over an ex, if you do not want to connect telepathically with somebody, I don't care how many subliminals you listen to or how much work you put towards it, it'll never happen because you don't want to do it. All right. All right. So let's move forward to the card of the week. And it doesn't matter if you're listening to this episode today, tomorrow, next week, next month, 5 years from now. This card is for you for today and this week. All right. And I am using Sacred Destiny Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. And I think, I think I'm going to start doing fairs again. Oh my God, I haven't done those in so long. Have my little author table where I can have my 4 Gypsy Magic books, and then Out of Body Ecstasy, Constant Cravings, the Soulful Connections book, and yeah, the book I did where I wrote a chapter about rearranging your bedroom for love. Yes, indeedy do. Oh, that'd be so much fun. All right, but enough of that. Let's pull a card, shall we? It's been a pretty interesting few weeks, um, and I think the rest of the year is going to continue to be very interesting. Not only for me, but for people who are, allowing themselves to go with the flow and not fighting against the current. Things happen easier when you don't fight against the current. All right. So let's pick a card, shall we? All right. Excuse me, Xena Lowena. Sweet pea, gotta reach around you. And that's not it. Let's pull this one. What do we have here? Ooh, I do love this card. It is the pleasure card. And I think I've pulled this card from this deck before for you guys. So this week it's all about pleasure. Pleasure of food, pleasure of drink, pleasure of sex, pleasure of stones, pleasure of connecting and energy and doing stuff you love, the pleasure of self care, the pleasure of being with people you adore, the pleasure of moving down your path. It's whatever gives you pleasure. All right. That is what is highlighted this week. And I think that's pretty effing good, if you ask me. So, the mystical item of the week is smoky quartz. I love me some smoky quartz. It's a very grounding and stabilizing stone, which can help when all we're doing when we're seeking out pleasure and really kick it into all of our chakras. All firing full speed ahead. Um, where other stones I've mentioned can open awareness, this one helps you anchor it. So, energetically, smoky quartz supports grounding after energetic shifts, stabilizing new energy patterns, emotional regulation, releasing residue energy, integrating after transformation. Now, portals open energy, and smoky quartz helps you hold it without becoming overwhelmed. Keep it near you this week when you feel unsettled, in between, unsure, or you're just adjusting to change. Integration requires grounding. All right. So tonight or today, we're talking about after the portal, integration, identity, and stabilizing the shift. I mentioned last week that we'd be talking about building a personal portal, but I wrote about that in the Mystical Minds blog. You can go see the post. It's free for anyone to go look at. Mysticalminds.co, and it is the blog post that I put out last Wednesday. What was the date last Wednesday? The 22nd, April 22nd, 2026. All right, so let's move forward. So, why do things feel a bit unstable after you go through a portal? Well, your system doesn't instantly settle when you go through. It's your energy is reorganizing. The version of you that existed before the decision is no longer fully active. The version of you you're becoming is not yet fully established. So this creates a temporary state of instability. You may notice that your reactions feel different than usual. Your routines no longer fit your life the same way. Your emotional responses feel, well, inconsistent, and motivation can shift without a clear pattern. It's not confusion, it's recalibration. And I said the word wrong. Recalibration. There we go. Your nervous system is learning a new baseline. Old patterns begin to lose their automatic hold. New patterns have not yet become natural. That space in between can feel like a loud car going past. It can feel uncomfortable because it lacks familiarity. Most people try to rush through this stage. The attempt to lock in that new version immediately. Well, that creates undue pressure on you. And integration does not respond well to pressure. It responds to repetition and time. The most useful thing you can do in this stage is to recognize that this is a transition, not a mistake. Don't label the instability as a problem. When you stop focusing on that, it becomes easier to move through. So, identity shift versus decision shift. A decision happens in a moment. Identity forms through repetition. This is where most people misunderstand transformation. They believe that choosing something new should immediately feel natural. I wish. In reality, the decision opens the portal. Identity develops after the crossing. For example, you decide to set a boundary. The next time you enforce it, it's going to feel pretty unfamiliar for you and for them. But by the fifth or sixth time, it begins to feel more stable and flows naturally. That shift comes from effort to ease is identity forming. The key question after a portal is Who am I practicing being right now? Practice matters more than intention. Each time you repeat a behavior, you reinforce a version of yourself. That repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity creates stability, and stability creates identity. The portal did not change you instantly, it gave you the opportunity to become someone different through repeated action. So, the three signs you're integrating, not regressing. Integration is often misunderstood because it's not very dramatic. It feels very subtle. Here are some three reliable signs that you are integrating, even if it doesn't feel too obvious to you. First, old behaviors begin to feel uncomfortable. What once felt automatic now feels misaligned. That discomfort is not a setback, it is an awareness increasing. Second, your reactions begin to slow down. Instead of responding instantly, there is a pause. The pause is space. Space allows choice. And third, you notice your patterns more clearly. You may catch yourself mid reaction. You may recognize a familiar emotional loop before it fully plays out. That recognition is process. Nope, it is progress. There we go. These shifts may feel small, they're not small, but they are foundational. Integration builds quietly. So, how do you stabilize this shift? Stability does not come from intensity, it never does. What it does come from is consistency. After a portal, the most effective approach is to choose one behavior that reflects your new direction. Not five, not 10, not 20 like I like to do, but only one. One. And it can look like responding instead of reacting, maybe honoring a boundary without explanation, could be following through on a commitment, or choosing rest when your body asks for it. Then repeat that behavior daily if possible. Repetition teaches your system what is safe. Safety allows the new pattern to take hold. Without repetition, the portal remains a moment. With repetition, it becomes a shift. The goal? It's not perfection because as humans, we're nowhere near that. But the goal is reinforcement. So, the real question after a portal. Before a threshold, the question is often, well, gosh, what do I want? After threshold, the question changes. It becomes, well, what do I reinforce now? Because whatever you repeat, again, becomes your baseline. This is where responsibility enters the process, not in a heavy way, not in a clear way. Each action either strengthens the new direction or pulls you back into the old one. You do not need to get everything right. You do not need, nope, you need to stay aware of what you are reinforcing. That's what you need to do. Stay aware. This keeps the portal active. Awareness plus repetition creates stability, and stability creates transformation. So, your soul work for the week is stabilizing the shift. All right. Write down in a journal that I hope you're keeping is what has shifted in my life recently. And then answer what feels different, what no longer fits, what new pattern is trying to form. Now, choose one behavior to repeat daily. And please keep it simple. At the end of the week, reflect, does this feel more natural? What became easier? And what am I stepping into more fully? Crossing a portal is a moment. Becoming who you are on the other side is a process. This month in Mystical Minds has been about recognizing thresholds, understanding energy, and working with transformation. Today brings it all into reality because awareness alone does not create change. Integration does. And that's a wrap here on this episode of Mystical Minds. I hope it sparks something inside of you, a memory, a knowing, a nudge maybe from your soul. And don't forget your soul work for the week. You'll find it under resources for episode. If you loved what we explored here, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs a little magic in their life. And if you're craving more, join the Mystical Minds group. It's a safe, sacred space to explore everything from energy work to soul connections, intuition, spirit guides, and more. You'll find support, community, and your peeps. You can also book a private reading, energy work, or soul session with me anytime from outofbodyecstasy.com. I've got you whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper connection to your soul path. Until next time, everyone, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember endless possibilities, infinite you.